Back to episode 59. This episode, we're going to look at the Canes' 5-2 victory over the Ducks and then the 7-2 loss to LA, really just the California trip as a whole. And then we'll take a look at tonight's game and more coming up next. All right, so we are back. We recorded this on our usual time on Sunday, which would have usually went out on Monday, but there were some issues with the recording, and unfortunately it could not go out just because it just would have sounded like crap. So me and Cam decided that instead of putting out non-productive work or anything good, we were going to go ahead and re-record. So we're just going to give a brief, probably 20-30 minute synopsis of the California trip. Take a little look at tonight's game as we are recording this. Is it Tuesday today? Yeah. Tuesday at 5:15. So right before puck drop here tonight for the Tuesday matinee game. But yeah, we'll dive right into it. Carolina kind of a weird West Coast swing where you start the trip off with a game in San Jose, which felt like the trap game where they probably, out of the three games, I felt like that was the one they were gonna lose, and then ends up being we have a pretty good performance from everybody in that 3-1 victory over San Jose, and then it falls into an absolute riot of a game in 7-2 versus LA. But I kind of want to just get your thoughts on those first two games, and then we'll cover that Anaheim game last.
Yeah, no, first two were interesting for sure. I think I didn't watch the San Jose game. I watched specifically the LA game, well, part of the LA game. I turned it off, I think, after 5-0, which I think most people did. So yeah, it was a rough one for sure. It didn't They were, I don't know where they were, but they weren't, I don't know if they were, still at the clubs from the night before or what, but they were not in LA. Yeah, that's for sure.
It's tough to blame that one solely on the team. I thought Coach Checkoff had a tough night. Like, we can flat out say it. I mean, if you look at the game overall as a whole, if we have a normal, per se, like Coach Checkoff performance, he still probably get shelled, and we still probably lose that game just because the chances that we gave up were very kind of high quality-esque. I mean, that first shot it was hard pressed to find a goalie in the NHL to save. I mean, it was a near perfect shot, granted.
Yeah.
It kind of sets up a snowball effect because that's the first shot of the game. And then the second shot of the game goes into the net as well, too, off of a deflection from Martinook's skate out in front. And then the rails just really fall off late first period goal to make it 3-0. And it was a squeaky one that shouldn't have gone in. And it's like, that's where Coach Checkoff needs to make the next improvement is just, we can't, I mean, I guess every goalie has those games, but man, like, it's about getting back to it. So he's going to be going tonight, I'm presuming, because we're going to keep the rotation going. He's got to get right back to his game before that LA game.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to have a bounce back because if he doesn't, it's going to be rough for him up in the next couple of weeks. But I fully expect him. He is in tonight from what I'm seeing. Yeah. So hopefully he plays better because he didn't play well, but. Again, the team in front of them didn't play great either. I mean, they only scored, was it 7-2 at the end of it?
Yeah, and they
to be fair, they only scored 2 goals.
2 in the third as well, so it wasn't...
That's what I mean, yeah. Like, they're garbage time goals after they were down, 6-0 going into the third, or 6-1. So, yeah, it's tough, but, I fully expect them to bounce back tonight. They're playing a not-so-great Nashville team at this point. So, but again, you never know. He could get absolutely railroaded by Nashville, and then there's a whole lot more problems that they have to address. But for now, I mean, they're just looking ahead. Hopefully, Coach Checkoff has a good bounce back game, and hopefully they can flush that one and kind of move on. They seem to in the Ducks game.
I was gonna say,
is
good. The beautiful thing is you got a real quick refresh. You played the next night, and you come out and you have a really good game, and notably. Taylor Hall with a hat trick, third period hat trick. It was almost a natural hat trick had the Ducks not scored somewhere in there. But I mean, as good a game as you could ask for from a bounce back game. I mean, you couldn't ask for much more. They come out, they play their tails off. Freddie plays a good game. Now we just need to continue down the path. And it's hard to say that, like, you hate to see a winning streak go, like end. But, like, to end at 7-2, it almost makes it like it's a scary thing where it's like, okay, was the team just not there? Or is it like, were we just on a run and, like, we're kind of getting set back? But I don't think that's this team. It feels different. And I don't know what it is about this group, but they just feel very cohesive all of a sudden. It was like the Miko saga turned this team into, like, they just gelled them even further together somehow.
Yeah, you hope that's the case, because if it's the other way around, I don't think they win 8 straight if it's the other way around. So I think everybody's at this point, everybody's moved on. They're kind of they know what they have. And at this point, they're just, hey, if they can make a run, they make a run. If not, a lot of those guys are already locked up for at least a couple more years. So a lot of them are kind of looking to next year, but I honestly think they all believe they can win it this year. Yeah. So especially from, you don't win 8 games. You don't just stumble upon an 8-game winning streak. You have to earn it. So it's definitely tough, and they've showed that they can beat really good teams. And like I said, the LA game was a tough one. I think if they get a couple of saves early from Coach Checkoff, I think that's a lot closer game. Do I think they win? I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say that they win if they get a couple saves.
That LA team is really good. That's a good hockey club.
They're really good, especially at home.
Yeah, great hockey team.
Yeah.
Like, hats off to them. But, like, yeah, if you go into the first intermission down 2-0, I feel like that's a different game.
Yeah.
That's a different game altogether, because you take a look at the first one. Like, the first one, great shot. I mean, Adrian Kempe is an underrated goal scorer in the NHL. That's a perfect shot. It is not. You can't get much better than that. And then you look at the second one. It bounces in off of Martinook's skate. It's like, that's just a tough bounce. The third one is where it's like, okay, that's the nail in the coffin. That's the one that did it in. But like we were talking about, they bounce back and go on to win 5-2 against Anaheim. What did you like about that game?
Yeah, I thought they realized what had happened, the game before. Now, I will say that Freddie in the third period pretty much stood on his head. Like, he made some crazy saves that who knows if Coach Checkoff would have made, or who knows if Freddie on another night would have made. But, Freddie was definitely on it, which was good. So that helped. But overall, I think they played a lot better. They played a lot tighter defensively, weren't giving up as many grade A's until the third period. Then they gave up a couple, but Freddie stepped up when he needed to. I think they kept them to below like 15 shots through the first 2 periods or something.
Yeah, I think the third period they almost matched their entire total for the game.
I know. I think they got 15 or 16 shots just in the third alone. So they poured it on in the third, but the Canes weathered the storm, which they need to do. I mean, you're going to come up against those good teams that are going to pour it on if they're down. So it's good to see that. Again, I'm not saying, that the Ducks aren't a great team. They're still, they still have a chance to make the playoffs, which is kind of crazy to think about. But they got to have a lot of help from other people. But they're a good team for sure. I mean, every team in the league is a good team at this point.
I think that whole California, they were down bad for a couple years, but man, Anaheim looks like they're on the rise. I think they still need a new coach. San Jose looks unbelievable. Yeah. San Jose is like a couple, maybe 1-2 pieces away from being a playoff push team, probably 3-4 from being a genuine contender, but like 1-2 way from being right up there with like contending to make the playoffs. And then LA is just kind of done this really meticulous rebuild. They're good. I mean, they've remained a good hockey club. Cam, to go back to your point though, through the first 2 periods, Anaheim had 17 shots. They finished the game with 37. 17.
So they got 20 shots in the third. Yeah. No, they shelled them in the third for sure, and it was an onslaught too. And a lot of those were grade A's too. Like, they were from high danger areas that Freddie had to be ready.
I think it was 2 or 3 breakaways, and I could be wrong. It might just only be 1 in the third, but 1 in the second. But I know he had 2 breakaway saves in that game. So, I mean,
Then Aho had 2 or 3. Aho had 3 breakaways on a penalty kill, and he couldn't bury one of them. So
it was all on one penalty kill.
That's tough. That's tough as well. I mean, that's those are ones where if you're in a tight game against a good team and you get that opportunity,
it's got to go in.
You got to bury.
You're
those.
in Florida.
Those have
Florida
to go
in a 7-game series. That has to go in.
You're in Florida. It's it's game 6. And you're in Florida trying to move on to the next round. Like, that has to go in. you can't that can't happen in a game that really matters. So yeah, I mean that was tough. Obviously the Canes didn't bury the chances they had. I think their goalie played well. I think Dostal played pretty well. I think they kept shooting at his glove. I don't know why. Same thing with Anaheim. Anaheim did the same thing to Freddie. They kept shooting at his glove. I'm like, why are you guys shooting at his glove?
Yeah.
Like they're obvious. Both of them are showing they can make a save. So
well, the one goal
you got to try something else.
The one goal that went in on Anderson, I think it was the Killorn goal. That's like the new hot. Like all the top end goal scorers, they're all shooting for that same little corner in the pad. So it's right where the heel of the stick is like on the ice to where the pad kind of goes down, because all these goalies do the thing that Coach Checkoff does where they don't drop that leg. They drop the other leg and keep that one up to try and block it so they could get a push off.
Try and push.
Yeah, exactly.
So, push,
so you can get that push off if needed. But you watch Kucherov do it. He does it all the time. He just puts it right into that Bermuda Triangle area, and it seems to work all the time. But I thought, I mean, you even look at like Dostal's backdoor backdoor save on Stankoven. Stankoven gets any level of elevation on that puck and it's in the net. But like, it's just in the NHL, it's hard to get, grade A scoring chances, and it's harder to capitalize of those grade A's. The Aho ones is where it's a little bit worrisome. It's like, hey, you had 2 straight breakaways. You got to bury one of them. Like that's got to be a consistent thing where we're getting a 50 percentile.
Ended with 3 at the by the end of the game. He had 3 breakaways and he couldn't finish.
Didn't score on one of them. But
he missed the net on 2 of them, and then he did the same move all 3 times.
The forehand to the backhand, and then he either tries to go shelf and then misses the net, or he tries to go 5-hole. And every goalie's got a cue. I'd rather him just come down and rip the puck, just fire it.
I would too. The only one that he really couldn't do that on was the third one, because they were taking away his forehand. Yeah. Like whoever the defender was taking it away, to where if he tried to drag it back forehand, the defender was going to sweep it away. So that one I get. The other 2. I would like him to see him fire the puck to some extent.
Like he's got a good shot. He's got a good release.
Yeah. And when he does score on breakaways, it's usually by shooting it. He doesn't usually peak on a breakaway. But again, it is what it is. They got the win. Hall with the hat trick, which is always good. Rosovic almost touched it before it went in the net, which is kind of wild.
Did you see Rod's post game?
Yeah, I did.
He was like, Rosovic, he almost became a very unpopular man.
Yeah, he almost became public enemy number 1. He would have had to hawk up that Rolex he got from Random.
He'd have done that. We would have seen Taylor Hall wearing number 96 for the rest of the season. Just giving him the number and everything.
That's true. He would have just given him a number. No, it's crazy, though. I mean, good for him, though. He was struggling in Chicago. So, I mean, it was Chicago's they're good for sure, but they don't have the depth that Carolina has. No, and I think Chicago next year is going to surprise a lot of people. They have a lot of cap space. I know I'm kind of getting off the rails a little bit here with Chicago, but they have a lot of cap space. They got a lot of young guys, especially their D-core. They got 3 really good defensemen that are going to be pretty young coming into next year. They got their goalie for the future. They have a good, pretty good top-end talent with Bedard, and they have one other guy, I believe, that's really going to stay there. So
it's that new Russian guy.
That's why I'm surprised they got rid of that's why I'm surprised they got rid of Hall altogether.
They just wanted to free up the cap space for the off. I don't get it. I don't know why they got rid of him. Either. Maybe it was one of those situations where Taylor Hall
he didn't want to be there.
Went into management and was simply like, guys, I got the last little stretch of this contract with you guys. I really don't want to be here. I would like to go to a contending team. I'm 6 years old now. He was drafted in 2010.
He's 35 still.
Oh, 35. So
I think he's 35 still.
Yeah, which would make sense. He was drafted in 2010. But that added up. But I feel like that was more of the situation than it was like they wanted to get rid of him for any particular. I think it was more Taylor going.
Oh, he's 33.
He's only 33. Oh, yeah, I see he was drafted at 18. Yeah, that makes sense. But, I mean.
That's true.
You never know. As a player.
Good for the Canes.
As a player, you could just. You don't have time. Like, the clock is ticking, and you only have so much time, so many years. And at the end of the day, very few guys really get to choose when their career is over. Very few get.
It's a luxury.
It is. It's a massive luxury. A lot of times, it's either injury is causing you to retire, or B, you want to play. You're not done playing, but your body is done playing. You can't keep up with the game anymore. Your skills are just kind of falling to the wayside, and you see more and more of those kind of players popping up. I feel like the retirement age for the NHL has decreased significantly from even when we started watching. Like when the Canes started, when they won their cup, you'd see guys 40 years old on pretty much every roster. Now
pretty much.
You can go to 10 rosters and not see a guy for 40 years old.
I can't name another. I mean, I'm trying to think of a guy who's like legitimately 40 years
Brent
old
Burns.
playing. Is it just him?
Suter. I think Ryan Suter's still playing.
Yeah. Is he with the Blues
I think he's
still,
with
or
the
did they buy him
Blues.
out?
No, I think he's with the
Okay.
Blues.
He got bought out by like 3 different teams.
He did. Yeah,
Eric Johnson's got to be up there
he's
too.
getting paid. Yeah. EJ's got, for sure. He's definitely got to be up there. Because he was drafted Stahl's year, I want to say. Or was it?
He's 37. He's 37. I don't know, but yeah, there's not very many. But
Jack
I mean,
Johnson,
yeah,
maybe.
you look, 15, 20 years ago, like you said,
Every
guys
team's
that
got
are
a
40.
guy
because
that's
again,
40 on their team.
it's literally because the game there's so much speed, and that's the first thing to go when you get up there in age is the speed. You still have the ability, you still have the vision, you still have the wit up here, but your legs don't do what your brain wants them to do. So you just can't keep up. And if you can't keep up, then you're out. So it's part of the reason I think a guy like Pat Maroon is retiring after this year too, is he doesn't have that step anymore that he had.
He knows it too.
5-6 years ago, and he knows it. He can recognize it. Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that he's going to give himself the luxury of being able to retire on his own accord. Yeah. Another guy that's over 40, Marc-Andre Fleury. Forgot about him. The Flower, he's retiring this year as well too. Crosby as well.
I think he could still play.
Crosby's over
crazy.
40.
Is he? Is he 40 yet?
No, he's not.
I thought he was like 37.
He's born in 87, so that would make him...
So he's 38.
38, okay. Is Ovi 40 yet? Ovi's got to be 40. I thought Ovi's 39. He's a year older.
Is Burns the only guy over 40? I know we're
sorry, this has gone completely off the rails
with an age conversation. I know we're going way off the rails here, but
is Brent Burns the only guy that's over 40 in the NHL?
Yeah, that's the only guy I can think of.
Other than Suter, I think Ryan Suter's still playing.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'll tell you this: I'm not going to look it up.
No, I couldn't be bothered.
I don't. If anybody wants to tell us if there's any more guys over the age of 40 that are still playing, let us know. Please.
I think it's just Flower,
I have no
Burns,
idea.
and Suter are the only guys.
I think those are the only 3. But yeah, I mean, it's such a young man's game, and I think that's where, kind of coming back to the point of specifically Taylor Hall, is that's where Hall adds urgency to this team. He adds the urgency, like, hey, we might not ever get this chance again. We don't realize how good we have it, or like one of those where he's like, let's do it this year. Why not do it this year and next year? Why does it just have to be, our window's open next year or the year after? Yeah. Our year will come. Why does it have to be like that? Why can't we win 3 in a row? And I think he brings that mentality, and I think he has been the biggest and best pickup that the Canes have had at trade deadline in years. I think he's
I think we're sleeping on Mark Jankowski pickup. That man's been an electric factory.
Listen, he's definitely been good. I mean, he's had the scoring touch, which is good. I mean, he's just putting it in the net. So, but again, the Canes style fits the way he wants to play too. Like, he's a big guy. Like, he wants to just be in the corner because he can win a lot of battles because he's 6'4". He's a big, strong guy. So it's like if Stahl had hands. That's how I look at him.
That's a pretty good analogy. Yeah, if Stahl had hands.
I mean, if he did, if Stahl had hands and had, more speed like he kind of used to. I mean, Stahl used to have some speed. He doesn't have
Mark
much
Jankowski
anymore,
is a carbon copy of Jordan Stahl when he was younger. That was how Jordan Stahl played in Pittsburgh. Like, that was Jordan Stahl.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is exactly how Stahl played when he was in Pittsburgh. So
he's just, again,
hopefully adding a depth guy.
Age is catching up to Stahl. Like, we just kind of talked about it. He's 36, 37 years old. He's still playing phenomenal hockey. And I think part of that is because you look at the guys that really do make it long into their career, especially nowadays, it's the really intelligent hockey players. We do tend to take that away a little bit from Brent Burns. He's kind of a freak of nature athletically, but still a very intelligent hockey player. I think he just hasn't kept his step, but he has been playing significantly better as of late, so I got to give him a lot of props on that.
He's been playing better.
A lot better.
Yeah. No.
So
For sure.
I'll give him the props on
yeah.
that portion of it. But
And again, he's starting to prove us wrong,
yes.
which is good.
I thought of one other guy that's over, Corey Perry in Edmonton.
Is he over
yeah.
40?
Yeah. He was drafted 2002.
Oh yeah, he's over 40.
I think he's like 42 actually.
20. Yeah, he's got to be.
I think 41 or 42
really?
years old now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, still going. He's still effective too. That's a crazy one.
No, he's 39.
Is he? What year was he drafted?
Mm-hmm.
I could have sworn
no
he was in the
idea.
2002 draft.
2005 he was drafted.
Was it Getzlaf in the 02 draft?
Right
then?
to the Ducks, probably. I don't know. I had to scroll over a couple pages. He's been with so many damn teams. So
Yeah.
I had to search and go back.
Suitcase.
I mean, Dallas, Montreal, Tampa, Chicago, Edmonton. It's anyway. But yeah, no, it's really impressive to see, what Burns is doing and still what he's able to do. But again, as long as it's not costing the Canes games, that's like where I kind of draw the line is if it's not costing the team games, they're fine.
Yeah.
He's fine. He can stay in the lineup, which is fine. But, there's been a lot of rumblings about Hall signing an extension, like them getting an extension done. So that looks like it's pretty much going to happen. It's just a matter of what the number is, what the term. I'm assuming it's going to be a 3 to 5 year contract. I think 5 is a stretch.
I think
3
5
is probably where it's going to be.
What do you think the numbers?
Who knows? It might be 5.
I don't think it's 5. I think it's probably. I think you're pretty much on. I think it's split right down the middle. He probably gets a 4-year deal,
like a 3 or 4.
Yeah, probably a 4-year.
And I don't even know what he's making now.
So
honestly.
right now he's making 6.5.
6.5. I mean, again, with the cap going where it's at, it really doesn't. It's not like the difference. I mean, if we have to pay him 6 instead of maybe trying to get a hometown with a 5, obviously if you can get him for $5 million for 4
sure,
years,
yeah.
that's great. But if you have to pay him 6 for 3 years, if you have to bump it up like the yearly for less term, I would think Hall wants more term though. From what he sounded, he basically doesn't want to move again. So
he wants to stay with a team that he knows has a good chance for the next couple of years, and that's what he feels like he has here. So,
well, yeah, that's what the indications are. So hopefully he can sign because he needs to. I mean, he's been such a big part of this team over the last month.
If you have a Hart Trophy winner on your second line as a winger, you're gonna be a good hockey club. Like that's good depth.
Yeah.
Like that's having.
And it's just it's his compete too. Like it's his mentality. Like he hasn't won one yet, and he's won the Hart. He's won everything else realistically. I mean, there's some stuff he probably hasn't won, but I mean, he's won the Hart. He's won other awards. He's won in. Junior hockey, he was the first overall pick, so he won the draft. He's
won the World Juniors. He's won everything. Yeah.
That's what I mean. He's won everything. He just wants a cup, and I think that mentality, you need a veteran guy that's going to have that hunger. And I mean, I'm assuming Burns has that hunger too, for sure. But I think he probably had more of that hunger 3 years ago than he does now, because I really think he's kind of looking at the light at the end of the tunnel right now. I'm assuming. I don't know, though. He might try and play 2 or 3 more years. But, there's a certain threshold where it's like, okay, I guess it's just not going to happen, and he kind of accepts it. But
I think
with Hall, man, he's only 33, so he wants one for sure.
I think they're just different person. I think of Brent Burns as like a Marc-Andre Fleury. While, yes, Marc-Andre Fleury has 3 cups, I think Marc-Andre Fleury played the game because he just loved playing the game. Like, he just loves hockey. And I think Brent Burns is very similar. Like, I think he has a goal. He wants to win a cup. I don't think that that's like his end all be all. But at the end of the day, he's just happy that he gets to play hockey as well, too. So I think that's part of it. That's also half the reason why he's played so many games and he's been so successful, is because he just has fun doing it. But in the same vein of breath, a different personality like a Taylor Hall, where it's not it's more than it's more than, I don't know. I don't want to say more than fun, because like at the end of the day, it's a game. It's fun. Like that's the whole point of it. But to Halsey, I feel like he needs a cup. Like he needs one. Yeah. And you can see it in his expressions. He scored a hat trick. He barely cracked a smile. Like he was like business as usual. This is how we're doing it. Like he was ready to go. He probably scored 3 more goals that same day. Like he was just ready to
Probably,
go.
yeah.
And like, but that's what you need. You need that level of leadership. And like, I think the combination of having a Brent Burns and a Taylor Hall as veterans, where like it's like having a Sidney Crosby and a Marc-Andre Fleury as your veterans, like those two guys, one is so laser focused on the goal and the other one can read the room and know, hey, we got to have a little bit of fun here. Like we're way too tight. We're way too wound up. Like we got to have a little bit of fun, let loose.
Yeah.
Those two guys gel well together. You just need both of them. I love Jordan Staal, but he's very much like I feel like he has that though, but he's already won a cup. So is it the same?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like if that was me in that situation, I'm 33 years old. I want a Hart Trophy. I want everything.
I'm
else.
talking Staalsy. Sorry, I said Staal. Do you think Staal? Do you think Staal's got the same bite to win a cup again after winning?
Yeah.
one?
No, I
Gotcha.
guess I was.
Yeah.
I guess for me, Staal probably not. I mean, I think he'd love to win one, but I don't think he's got that kind of like I was saying with the urgency that Hall would have, just because Hall, like, it's almost like he feels like if he has that feeling like I need to win one to, be considered one of the greats or get into the Hall or, Hall of Fame or whatever, then hey, maybe again, but it's just you need that push from guys who have been there, done that, been, parts of really great teams. I mean, he was a part of that President's Trophy Boston Bruins team. Yep. That was, God, how did they lose 10 games a whole year or something like that?
It felt like it.
Yeah.
But then
I know it's
you also look at his whole career. He's never left the first round of playoffs. He's only been to play.
Yeah, that's true.
No, he has. Hold on.
I know Edmonton.
No, so in Edmonton he never went, and then he went to Boston after. Was it Boston after? No, New Jersey. Did they? Yeah, they made the. Yeah, no, he's had some play. Never mind. That was gonna be a comment, but no. But he's been on some really bad teams, and he understands.
Yeah.
Like, hey, like you could get stuck on a team that's a rotter, and all of a sudden your window's shut on you he spent what 5 years in Edmonton, and then he spent another 4 years in Chicago, 2 years in Chicago. I don't know, I'm all over the place, but like I agree. He has that urgency, he has that will, he has that want, and I think another guy will kind of finalize on him. Aho, yes, has that same. I feel like Jankowski's got that in him too, because he's 29 years old as well too, and he's kind of been.
He is. He's been around.
I mean, he's only ever been with Nashville. I don't think he was with another team prior to Nashville, but he got sent up and down quite often in the early parts of his career, and now he's finally starting to make a name staple for himself, really, in the past couple seasons. And I think he realizes too, like it's not earned, it's not given, it's earned. Like you have to earn every second of it, and he just seems like one of the guys that wants to do it as well too. He's willing to go into the hard areas. Maybe this is just their play styles. Like this is just how they always are, and we're just now finally really seeing it because they're on our team. But I feel like I'm just rambling at this point.
No, shout out to Brett Horn as well. He was the first guy that was like, he was like, don't sleep on this Jankowski pickup. Yeah. Like when because he watches. I know last year he covered basically Nashville every
2
game.
years ago because he had Ottawa last year.
Was it Ottawa last year?
No, it was Nashville last year. Yeah,
it was Nashville last year. It was Ottawa the year before. But he basically did, because he works with
S&P.
Oh my gosh, S&P. So he does all the
SMT.
SMT. That's what it is. Yeah, I believe that's what it is.
Technology, I think.
I think so.
I'm making shit up at this point.
So they basically run and pull the data, and they work with the truck for certain teams, and they do. They help with them and pull in statistics and stuff to put on the broadcast, basically. So he had Nashville, I believe it was last year, and Jankowski was on that team, obviously, and he was the first guy that was like, do not sleep on this Jankowski pick. He's going to be – he even admitted it too. He was like, I didn't expect him to score. He have him six goals already, but he expected him to be a good ad. So for a fifth-round pick, I'll take him all day.
What's the craziest part is that so far he's played – I don't know how many games with Nashville. We'll say like 55 or something like that. In 55 games, 50, he had 3 goals. in 7 games with the Carolina, he's got 6. He just tripled his goal total in 7 games.
Put it in the net, man.
By the way,
like I said,
it is SMT, so it's sports media technology. So I just wanted to, okay, but go back to your point. I just wanted to make sure I corrected.
Yeah, no, and yeah, it's definitely good to see the guys fitting in. I mean, even Stankoven's, got 4 points in 7 games, I think, which is kind of
the same number as.
It's a little bit better than. Yeah, no, I know, and that's another thing too. I can't. That's kind of my love-hate relationship with this season, I guess, for the rest of the season is once next year starts, the whole ranting and stuff will be out the window. So it's kind of been I mean, don't blame you, man. The media is still talking about it. Like everybody's still talking about it. So somehow, I don't know how, but
well, according to a lot of mainstream media, it's a revelation that Carolina was able to dig themselves out of this hole that they put themselves into. And I don't know how they won 8 straight games after losing Mikko Rantanen, but somehow they're doing it. So it's crazy.
I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, I know. It's almost like he was, he didn't buy in.
Yeah, it's almost like he didn't want to be here.
It's almost like he didn't want to be there from the start.
Hey, when one of the guys on your team playing 20-plus minutes a night doesn't want to be on the ice, gonna hurt your team.
Yeah, that's
gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt your team as a whole. Yeah. I mean, you look up. I mean, if I'm playing 10 minutes a night, I'm like, why the hell am I? Why am I playing 10? Like, I want to be out there. No. This guy's going through the motions. He's playing 22. Yeah. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So. And again, it's definitely good the team that they have now. I think they have a lot more depth pieces. I still am wanting somebody to step up and be the goal scorer for sure.
A true number one type player. I feel like we have Aho is him, but like I feel like Aho was like on a real true dominant multi-year Stanley Cup championship team. I feel like he's like the second player. Like
he's like the number 2 or 3 guy. Yeah.
If he was on like a team, if he was with McKinnon, like Colorado Avalanche are winning the cup like pretty much every year. Like I think that kind of like if he's a number 2 guy, like where he's not the number 1. That's why like even going out maybe Mitch Marner in the offseason, maybe that would be the ideal pick. I don't know. Maybe Aho's just the guy, and maybe he would be a 120-point guy on another team. It's just we play a defensive style of game that doesn't allow guys to get a ton of points. I don't know. But
yeah.
Anyways, you got anything else?
No, I think we've kind of gone all over the shop. Oh, yeah. So yeah, I mean, like I said, they play tonight. They play in about probably an hour and a half. They play the Preds. I think they're. I hope Coach Checkoff has a better game. Obviously, I'm not gonna put that loss solely on him for sure. But
he could have been better.
He didn't have his best game. He definitely could have been better. I mean, for sure. They play Tuesday, obviously tonight, and then they play Montreal on Friday. That's gonna be a tough game. And then Islanders, who are fighting for their playoff lives at this point. So
they're playing them Columbus on Sunday tonight, right?
They played them last night.
Who won that game?
They lost.
Oh, baby.
They lost in a shootout.
Oh, that's tough because everybody gets a point, basically. So it doesn't really help or hurt anybody too much.
Yeah, it's just the Columbus got an extra point. So, but, yeah, I mean, they're fighting, man. They are. They're in there fighting. So is Columbus. I mean, pretty much, I think 3 of the Metro teams are really fighting right now. New Jersey finally got a win last night.
About damn time.
So, yeah, I think they won.
Hold on.
No, they didn't. They lost in a shootout. I'm out here lying on air. Sorry. They did. I thought they won. Sorry, guys.
Well,
that was
they were up 3-2.
No, they lost in a shootout.
Yeah, they were up 3-2 late in the third, and then they got scored on with what looks like about 44 seconds left, 46 seconds left. So.
Yeah, and then that's right. I forget because I was watching that meme all day of Markstrom breaking his stick over the goalpost. So because he got scored on in the shootout. But yeah, man, all those Metro teams are really struggling for points right now. So I still think after that New Jersey game last night, I really still think that the 3rd seed is actually up for grabs. Still, honestly, if New Jersey keeps sliding.
It feels like they haven't won consistently in 2 months now.
Oh, my God. 2 months since, I mean, even before Jack was out. Like
it was like up in, granted, really Carolina was in the same boat, and then we just kind of got out of it with this win streak here.
Yeah, I know. Over the last couple weeks, we've got out of it. But yeah, no, really since I would say December, mid-December, the Canes really struggled through basically, yeah, till what, 3 weeks ago? They were kind of 50-50 on games. And then
we were 500
all of a sudden
hockey
they
for
put
2
eight
months,
together.
basically.
It pretty much, yeah. So, but, hopefully they can get the ship right. Obviously they won the game in Anaheim. So, yeah.
It's going to be a good game.
Hopefully
today.
they're, yeah, and they're always good at home too. They're better at home than they are on the road. So hopefully it works out for them.
But anyways, that'll be all for us. If you did enjoy, please like, subscribe, comment underneath, give us a follow on our X. The handle will be in the YouTube comments as well too. But from us over here at Canes Local, we bid you adieu.